After Action Report, September 18th, 1944. Captain Jack McAllister, 2nd Ranger Battalion, detailing operational actions taken in the city of Brest, France. Objective: secure and neutralize enemy strongholds along the westward approach to the port of Brest. Allied High Command deemed the port essential to maintain logistical supply lines deeper into occupied France. Intelligence reported entrenched German forces fortified in a network of bunkers, pillboxes, and heavily defended structures. Resistance expected to be high, and assets from the 2nd Fallschirmjäger Division deployed across the area. At 0600 hours, our squad advanced into the heart of Brest's ruins under the cover of dense early morning fog. The silence was nearly unnatural, broken only by the occasional rumble of distant artillery. The city had been shelled to rubble. Our rangers moved through alleys strewn with debris and smoke, using every shadow and crevice for cover as we pushed through sectors that once housed the civilian population. Within minutes, enemy fire erupted from an MG-42 nest entrenched along our left flank. Position was fortified, dug in with overlapping fields of fire. Our lead scouts had barely broken cover. The air lit up with the heavy crack of machine gun fire. Within minutes, enemy fire erupted from an MG-42 nest entrenched along our left flank. Position was fortified, dug in with overlapping fields of fire. Our lead scouts had barely broken cover before the air lit up with the heavy crack of machine gun fire. Private Tate took a round through the shoulder before he could reach safety. Our corpsmen were able to stabilize him, but he was out of the fight. Morale held steady. These men had seen worse. Lieutenant Harris and I assessed the stronghold structure. Reinforced concrete, razor wire strung across every approach. A full frontal assault would mean unacceptable casualties. I dispatched Corporal Miller and Private Tate's fire team to flank from the west, maneuvering through the remnants of a stone wall for cover. When they reached position, Miller tossed 2 grenades over the wall, aiming for the rear of the gun nest. The blast silenced the gunner, but the Germans responded immediately. Their second line opened fire, pulling us into a prolonged engagement. The engagement was sustained, brutal, a constant exchange of fire from both sides, well entrenched and unwilling to give an inch. As we pushed forward, Sergeant Collins spotted a Tiger tank approaching from the east, flanked by infantry. With no anti-tank assets on hand and no armor support within range, we faced a formidable threat. The Tiger's presence jeopardized the entire operation, capable of cutting us down with its main gun. I ordered the unit to fall back to an elevated position in a partially collapsed apartment building, hoping to capitalize on the high ground while keeping cover. Inside that building, visibility was minimal. Plaster dust and smoke choked the air, mingling with the acrid scent of burned explosives. My men were on edge, every moment cautious as we huddled close to the windows, taking stock of the tank's path. Private Collins' field report indicated a weak point in the tank's rear exhaust system, our only real target if we had any hope of taking it down. Private Miller once again volunteered to approach the tank under the cover of rubble. Knowing the risks, I gave the go-ahead. Miller moved fast, staying low, edging within range. I watched as he crawled through broken glass and twisted metal, clutching one of our last remaining grenades. He reached the exhaust, yanked the pin, and rolled it in. The ensuing explosion lit up the street. The Tiger was neutralized. Immobilized by a fire that tore through its compartments, a small victory, but our position was far from secure. Immediately after, we faced a surge of German reinforcements from the south. Our ammo was running low, our numbers were thinning. The men held their ground, fighting hand to hand in some cases, resorting to bayonets and rifle butts as German soldiers closed in. We had to hold out until Bravo Company's arrival. Those were the longest 3 hours of my life. It was brutal, desperate work. Every corner of that building became a battleground. Every floor a front line. I saw men injured, exhausted, some barely holding themselves upright. But they didn't waver. We held firm, pushing back wave after wave until I heard it. The rumble of our own tanks rolling in. Bravo Company was here. Once Bravo secured the area, we regrouped, tended to the wounded, and cleared remaining resistance. The city of Brest was under Allied control, and the port was secure. But the toll was staggering. The cost was real, etched in every face and every inch on the ground we stood on. We'd completed our objective, but victory here didn't come without sacrifices. Men who had become brothers over months of fighting and long sleepless nights, their faces haunt me even now as I put these words to paper. This is Captain Jack McAllister. Mission complete. For those we lost today, this was their ground. I'll carry them with me, each of them, until the end.